Welcome to Vegas Pulse, the stories from the back of the house. And with us today is a great guest. He's a percussionist. He works at all the clubs in town. He knows what goes on behind the scenes, and that's why we brought into the show today Mr. Carlitos Leon. Carlitos, hello.
Hello.
How
Nice.
many people call you Carlo?
When they're mad.
You have to straighten them out. It's Carlitos.
Carlitos Leon. Yep.
And then they used to have that little Spanish. Carlitos.
On the end
What do
there.
I do? I'm Italian guy.
Carlitos.
Yeah, Carlito. That'd be the Italian version.
Hey, nice to be here, Ron.
It's good to see you. Thank you for coming today.
Likewise.
You have a great story. It starts in Cuba in the 50s.
60s.
When did you leave Cuba?
We left Cuba 1971.
71. And you flew here.
Yeah. Me and my sister.
Was it because of the what was going on? with
Yes, sir.
Castro and
Yes.
all those things. Now, in those days, the Cubans, they went to Florida.
Yeah.
You did as well.
It's the same thing. I follow my parents.
And now you're a citizen of the country.
Yes. I became citizen. Yeah.
Did you start playing the congas and the percussionist stuff in Miami?
Yeah. Right after high school, a little bit. Yeah. It was in Florida where I trained.
What made you do that? What made you get started with?
Well, I hate to. I think it might be in the blood. My uncle was a musician, and one of my aunts was in a group, backup singer. And when I first heard the rhythm of the salsa, I got hooked on it.
When you got to Miami, was there any anti-Cuban feeling in Miami in those days?
No, not that much, but they kind of criticized the people that left.
There were two sides of Miami. There were the Castro people and the free Cubans. I'm sure you were on the free Cubans.
Yeah. We grew up in Miami. We went to school there. My sister, my brother. So we got involved with the American population.
What made you come to Vegas?
Vegas was when we moved here in 81. And by then I was already playing here with my uncle and with other friends from high school.
You came to Las Vegas, and what happened then? Do you have a day job?
No, I had.
You did?
I'm retired from the city. I used to work for the housing.
And you retired from that.
Yes, sir.
So you have a nice pension.
Yeah, that's why I gotta play some bongo billy.
But you still got to play them bongos, right?
Yeah. But yeah, Vegas has been good to me, Ron.
You came, what year was it that you came to Vegas?
81.
1981. In 1981, I've been here 10 years already.
Yeah, I know. Well,
But I have a little story I want to tell you
go
about.
ahead. I would love to hear.
When I was at the Sahara, I booked a show called Tropical Passion. It was the Miami Cubans,
Mhm.
the free Cubans, and at the same time, there was another show at the Stardust. This was at the Sahara, and at the Stardust was another Havana Nights. Well, the Havana Nights show was with the Castro Cubans,
Yeah.
and my show were the free Cubans.
Wow.
So I threw a party not knowing I was going to make a problem and invited both shows, and they came, and then it got a little testy
Yeah.
after a while, and we had to leave early. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I can understand, you know what I'm saying? But here in Vegas, I use my roots to perform. It's in my blood. I hate to, but it's in my
You're one of the most popular percussionists, and we keep saying that. What do you call yourself?
Not well. Thank you for saying popular, but I adjust to different. The thing is that in Cuba, there's only one way to play music. In Miami, it's mixed. That's why this lady, Gloria Estefan, was successful. She brought in her roots into the American population.
And
I had
the
them-
Miami Sound Machine.
It's Miami Sound Machine, that's
Yeah.
it. I have that run to the English bands with my rhythm. I have to make it work, and so far it's working for me.
You work with so many different groups. one to the other. Give us a little bit about what goes on there. Why are you just trying to make a lot of money or work many gigs? But you move from one group to the other. Sometimes you stay with a group
Yes,
for several shows.
yes.
Does something happen that you don't want to be there anymore, or you just move on?
No, nothing. It just, I never had a band, and I don't want to put a band together. It's
You have no desire to have your own band?
no, sir. No, I rather free agent.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a party in your house, Ron, and you say, hey, I want a 4-piece band, they get it together. They call piano, a percussionist, the girl singer. See what I'm saying? It's free agent. Although I play with one specific band on the percussionist, as you know her, Denise Fulan. That's
Yes, Denise.
the main show.
Julianne.
But there's other people.
So she's your main
Yes, I'm the
source of
yes.
work as a percussionist.
That's right. Now I'm working every Thursday with a beautiful lady, you know her, Nieve Malandra. This Thursday.
Which where is that at?
At
Is that
Capo.
Capos?
Yeah.
And where's Denise Fulahan working these days?
She's working everywhere. She just came from the Viper Room, California. I couldn't go. But
Is that on the Sunset Strip out there in Hollywood?
Vine Street.
On Vine Street, which is just one block.
One block from there.
Block over.
Yeah.
Hollywood and Vine is the famous location there.
That's, yeah. So, California, Carlitos coming.
Carlitos is coming. You work with a lot of the girl singers here in town.
Yes.
And is there one particular one that we're not going to mention any names, but there's anyone out there that really pissed you off without saying? I'll tell you what, let's hold that for a second while you think it over, and I don't want to get you in trouble.
No.
But we're going to come back after we take this break. We'll be right back, right after this. And we're back here on Vegas Pulse, stories from the back of the house. And we're talking with a guy that's been the back of the house many, many times. How are you treated when you go into these hotels and you're in the band? How are you treated by the hotel? Is there a hotel that like I said earlier, that got you upset, that ticked you off?
No, none of them, but you have to follow the rule. The stage manager, he'll tell you when to set up. Don't do that. Don't work. You see what I'm saying? You have to follow the rules, because they're not picky, but it's just the house rules. So I adapt to that.
Was there one hotel in particular that maybe we shouldn't say
No,
that?
actually, the hotels here no more was a Landmark.
The Landmark. Well, we can talk all we want about the Landmark.
Boy, those were the days.
Before they blew it up, they used the Landmark when it was empty, and they were going to blow it up in a couple of days as the set for the front of the Tangiers Hotel.
Oh, wow.
That was in the movie Casino.
Casino with Robert De Niro.
And that was and right after they shot that scene in the front of the Landmark, but it said Tangiers, and had the Rolls Royce and two guys that were supposed to be Siegfried and Roy.
Wow.
They did that scene with De Niro, wrapped it up, and the next day they blew the hotel up.
Yeah, I remember that.
How many hotels have been blown up that you worked at?
Well, the Landmark was, and then the Frontier.
Frontier, the Stardust,
Yeah.
Desert Inn. Did you work there at all?
Desert, no. My uncle did, but not me, no.
Tell us about your uncle.
He played there a couple of nights at the Stardust.
What was his instrument?
Oh, piano.
Piano.
Keyboard piano. And Ron, that's how I got into this business. What happened was I had a break because the conga player got a DUI the night before the show.
Uh-oh.
So they were in the jam. So I went to the office to my uncle and said, hey, you can put me on that show. I can play better than this guy. And the band backed me up. Hey, Carlito, no, he's been coming to rehearsal. They test me really hard. And I open jam. I go, see, anything else? Give me something hard. I told my uncle. And then the main guy go, well, he doesn't have the age, but he can play in the show.
Did he ever come back?
No.
You stayed with the group.
Yeah.
You've been playing with a lot of different groups all over town. And
Yeah.
you're pretty much in demand. And is it working for you, being able to be on call like that?
Yeah, Ron, it's fun because you meet different people. The ladies I work with, they're extremely they're good. You can say I've lost some I couldn't work with them back in the days, but they're very organized now. Vegas has changed a little bit. You know, if you're good and you know what you're doing, they'll take you in. If you're too busy as a percussionist, I'm not saying
As a percussionist?
yeah, too busy and you're singing, you're like, hey, easy with the bells or something. You have to be you have to listen and let the singer sing. Not too busy. A little bit of fill. They call it fill in and out, fast.
Did you ever do business with the mob?
No, pizza place maybe.
Pizza place. Well, the mob owned a bunch of pizza
Yeah,
places.
New York. I went to New York, but that
Yeah,
was
the one that they owned was called the Tower of Pizza,
Tower Pizza.
and it was right where the Ferris wheel that didn't get built, across the street from the Excalibur. Those two cement
Oh wow.
towers are still there.
Uh-huh.
On that spot was the Leaning Tower of Pizza, owned by Tony Spilaccio,
Wow.
who in the movie was played by Joe Pesci.
Funny
Well,
how.
so that's where the pizza place was.
Yeah,
And we all went there back in the 70s
New York.
and the early 80s
Wow.
to have our pizza and be blessed
Yeah.
that we can continue to live. It was an interesting time
Yeah.
in Las Vegas. So you didn't run into the mob anywhere.
No, no. In New York, I played one time at the city radio. You know, with that was another band. That
Radio City Music Hall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. It was only one show we did, and then we flew back to Vegas the next day. But it was fun. You know, I appreciate. I put an article on the. I post one, thanking the people that have called me. I really appreciate it, because you know what I'm saying. If I can help them, I'll be there. You know.
As a musician, are you treated fairly when you go into these hotels and lounges and so on? Or do they treat you like a bunch of musicians who don't know anything? And a lot of people are like that in these hotels. The entertainers are not treated with class, and they should be.
Yeah, I agree. I had an experience. It wasn't that hard, but it's not that you have to be tough, but smart. We had a rehearsal. I'm not going to name the hotel, and the director says, "Hey, the guy that you substituting to me, he doesn't play like that." So I said, "Okay, I know he's not here, but this is the way I play. This is the way you hire me." And the band, again, they back me up. See what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not being rude, Ron, but it's tough to negotiate on stage.
So you're going to stick to your guns on stuff like that.
Yeah,
You're going
I
to play
have
what you
to.
play,
I have to.
and you don't want to be the other guy anyway.
Right, exactly.
How many different hotels have you worked at all these years?
Oh, quite a few. Some are not here, and I played one time at the stadium in Henderson. The board.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that was a summer event. So it was I played for a Santana cover band, and the guy called me. You know what I'm saying? I was still kind of young, but you know, for 18-year-old, 19-year-old, it was good money.
Your phone ring a lot? Are you getting a lot of job offers?
It depends, Ron. To be honest, it depends.
If you didn't have a retirement, could you make a living being a percussionist right now?
Maybe.
It's pretty sketchy though, right?
Yeah, you can't live on that. No, see what I'm saying? I won't be able to pay my house. But they're fun. I appreciate them calling me. It's only when they have something. Who are we gonna get? Oh, let's get Ron, the trumpet player, and Carlitos, see what I'm saying? They create the band at the last moment. That's when you get the calls.
We're gonna take a break right now. We're gonna come back and talk a little more with Carlitos Leon, probably the best percussionist, and that's what you are here in town. And anyway, he's gonna give you his phone number at the end of this in case you want him to come up and play the congas for you. We'll be right back right after this. And we're back on Vegas Pulse, stories from back of the house. My guest this week is Carlitos Leon. He's a percussionist. You've been watching it, I hope, and he's telling you some stories from back of the house, how it really works. We use the word percussionist, Carlitos.
Yes.
What does it take to be a percussionist? What does that mean?
Well, to be a percussionist, first you have to know the rhythms. And the ear is very important. You have to see it before playing it. A drummer knows when a drum roll is coming. He knows when. The percussion is the same thing.
You don't have music sheets, right? Or do they?
No, some shows do. I read
If you're in
sheets.
a big 35-piece orchestra, you'd probably have lead sheets, music sheets.
I've played in what they call the stage band on the ground.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Years ago with Tony, that show, Tony.
Tony Sacker's
Yeah,
show?
he had a show, but the audience couldn't see the band. We were under. And then the people dancing and singing. But there's some charts. But we knew the music. It's your typical
So you read music,
chart of percussions only.
percussion music.
Yeah,
It
drum,
tells you when to go bang
Yeah,
in its way,
Right.
in its own way. How did you know you were going to be a percussionist? Were you playing with paper boxes?
I don't sing and dance.
So you had no choice.
No choice. My dad said, "You sure you want to do that? You don't want to be a mechanic or lawyer?" I go, "No, man. In Miami? You kidding?" Right away, I got in the
A
bar.
lot of rhythms in Miami. Miami must be a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, percussion job has to be, or else
You also do the what are they called? The
chimes.
The chimes.
Chimes for slow songs.
And what else is involved in your setup?
Well,
there?
there's blocks, cowbell, shaker.
More cowbell.
I want to share something, Ron. And I'm not saying the percussion's out there. I'm saying when you do a show, the percussion cannot go over the singer. If you do a lot of cowbell, they might turn around and go, "Hey, too busy." Like I say, in and out when it's your turn. Like at the end of a song, "When I feel you," then you might hit the chime. That's it.
You do that without knowing, just doing it because you
have
feel
to
it belongs there.
Right, and you have to know the
Well,
song.
so two different shows could be different based on what you're hearing,
That's correct.
and then you change yours according to whatever
That's
song is
correct.
on.
On the rhythm on the congas,
Hmm.
like back in the 70s, remember, there was a lot of disco.
Right. Oh,
Donna
yeah. A
Summer
lot
had
of
a lot
congas.
of, but those rhythms are Afro-Cubano, they call it. On the radio,
Uh-huh.
it's busy on the conga. That's it.
That was Donna Summers. I
Yeah,
think.
but if you know the song, it's easier.
Yeah.
I mean, for the musician.
So you get a lot of calls.
Yes.
You told
Lot
me
of-
once it was because you did my radio show,
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Vegas Live Entertainment Radio.
That's right.
You were kidding me, right? You didn't.
No. They were calling me, but I had more calls after I left your show.
So you're pretty much in demand.
Yes. I appreciate it. Oh, the musician, I don't
What's
want to
the,
tell them what to do.
What's the range pay-wise, if you don't mind?
It depends, Ron, on the show or the hotel or the person.
I'm going to hire you as a percussionist.
But it's good. It's good pay,
It was it $400 or $500 a show, something like
Yeah, a
that.
little bit. Yeah. Well, the big show in the hotel.
A little bit more than
the
that.
other venues, for 150 to 2, it depending. Because see, that's another thing. If I'm a singer and my percussion doesn't know what he's doing, why should I give him $200?
Right.
Why?
You know,
Now, if a good drummer,
yeah.
like the drummer that Elvis had, good money.
Do they ever hire you instead of a drummer?
Sometimes they don't need percussion.
Yeah.
I get a lot of percussion if it's like for instance, can I give an example? Like if it's a show like for the Sade tribute band,
Mm-hmm.
like I did a little bit while with
That
Neil.
Rita Lim does that?
Yeah, you have to have percussion because Sade used a lot of bongos.
Mm-hmm.
Food operator, it's got that vibe.
And it had that tropical vibe to
Yeah,
it.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
So,
So
it's
who's
an
your hero? Desi Arnaz? No, I'm only joking with you, right? But he was the first we got exposed on television to a Cuban
Yeah,
who played the congas.
the congas.
Well, what do you call it? The bongos?
The bongos,
Yeah.
congas, yeah, it's
That,
percussion.
you play that long one that you carry, the
Oh,
one?
the djembe? No,
Yeah,
no.
what's it called?
The djembe.
A djembe.
It's yeah, that's a lot of the belly dancers use that.
Oh,
Well, not
really?
them, but
Actually, in one of your shows with Denise, there's a belly dancer.
yes.
Well, we're going to find out more about that belly dancer
Okay.
right after we come back. You're watching Vegas Vibes, the Vegas Pulse. Let's start that again. We'll be right back. You're watching Vegas Pulse, stories from back of the house. And we'll be back with Carlitos Leon and our final segment right after this. One final segment now of Vegas Pulse, stories from back of the house. Our guest is Carlitos Leon, the premier percussionist here in Las Vegas. Everybody wants this guy in their show. You play so well, Carlitos. You do you're in demand.
Thank you.
I
try.
don't know of any other percussionist in town that works as hard or as much as you do.
Yeah. No, there's some percussions out there. You know, it's a little bit tougher for American percussion, but they can still do it if they read. But a Latin, I can put my roots music in your show.
Can a guy come to town and be successful as a musician if that's all they do? Is it a tough gig?
Well, if they start early age,
Yeah.
It shouldn't be no problem. Get familiar.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when I do a show, they say, "Hey, we're gonna do this song." Oh, I know it. We're gonna do this song. Oh, I know it.
Do you need rehearsals, or do you just
Some
do you
big
follow
shows,
what you're hearing?
no, some big shows that you have to, to give a good show.
You
Just
have
one
a-
rehearsal.
You have a wonderful wife, a nice family.
Thank you.
What do you see in your future? More of the same, or getting a hit show in a big hotel?
No, in my future, I would like to teach kids how to play percussion.
Ah,
You know what I'm saying? Some percussion, they
and you
make
should
noise.
move in that direction.
Making noise is not percussion. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
What'd you bring with you here? What's this?
Ron, I wanted to give you this.
What do you got here?
That's for you. Across the table.
See if I can. Oh my goodness!
There you
Everybody,
go.
look at this.
You know,
Carlitos Leon has brought me
That's
a
my,
beautiful Silva Patron.
Tequila.
You know, tequila makes my clothes fall off. You know, isn't that a song?
Hey,
It is. That is so nice of you.
No,
so
thank
much,
you. I wanted to do that.
Carlitos. Thank you so much. It's so much fun to have you here.
No, it was a pleasure. I
That
love
you
it.
came in. They took time out of your busy day.
No problem.
I'm glad you don't have a day job anymore. I was worried about that.
No, I'm okay. I'm all right.
And tell us how people can get a hold of you if they're interested in having you in their band.
Well, they can get a hold of me through Facebook and Messenger. My post, Carlitos Leon. You know, they can leave me a message. You see what I'm saying? It has my phone number, and they can reach me for anything at all.
You think Vegas has a future?
Yeah, I think
I'll tell you what, I've got a future as long as I've got the bottle of Patron over
there
here.
you go.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make me some margaritas
There you go.
with that. That's great stuff.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
You know,
I like it a little bit in the coffee.
Carlitos, thank you so much
Hey,
for taking the
it's a pleasure,
time.
Ron. I had a great time.
Any final words you'd like to say? You want to shout out to?
Well, I want to shout out to my wife Maria. She always support me. You know, sometimes the gigs are 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning, but she support me in any decision I take.
It's important to have that
Yeah.
support.
I shout out to Denise, my girl Nieve. Those ladies are great. They work hard, and I like to.
And they're great entertainers as well.
Yeah, they are. I like to contribute to that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We got to wrap it up. Thank you all for watching Vegas Pulse. My guest has been Carlitos Leon. I'm Ron Garrett. We'll have another great guest for you next week. So tune in right here on Hey Vegas TV. Bye-bye.